Greetings! I am Shawn Redman, aka the cheesily named Darth Shawn, and this week, the Star Wars comic began a new arc called Rebel Jail. Star Wars 16. Now, with the Vader Down crossover event done with, they've started a new arc that has them with the captured Dr. Aphra at the end of the Vader Down. They captured Dr. Aphra and Princess Leia, and Sana, previously Sola, now Staris, is helping her as they deliver her to this sun-fronted jail, which is really cool. It's a jail that's basically on the front of a star, and trying to get information out of Dr. Aphra. And that is a really interesting concept, and it really works in this issue. This issue as a whole is a lot of setup, a lot of kind of like building to what they're going to do in this little arc, but they do a really good job setting up that Aphra is the villain right now, and that's really cool. We've seen Aphra throughout the Vader comic, obviously the Vader Down, and she's a very interesting character. But it's really nice to see her kind of as the forefront, as the villain. We'll see who else comes in, and it looks like people are trying to break her out, and so we'll see kind of what villains come in with her. But right now, having her as the main villain is really interesting because we haven't kind of seen that yet. Also, the bringing back in of Sana, kind of in a female Lando Calrissian sort of way. She's a former smuggler who would have turned them over to the Empire at one point, but now is kind of a rebel sympathizer because A, she can get paid, but also because she's had her life saved. And there's kind of the parallels to what Lando was in Episode 5, and I found that really interesting the way they did that with her. You still have Leia kind of being Leia, not much to her character in this issue, even if she's on the front. But it is some interesting conversation between her and Sana and her and Aphra. And then there's another little subset where Luke and Han are off collecting supplies, and Han is gambling away the winnings and losing while trying to cheat. And there's some interesting little things there, but that's, I think, just set up for what's going to happen in the future. But the primary focus of this story is definitely Dr. Aphra in prison and them trying to get information out of her and people coming to break her out. The best moment of this comic was when Aphra is kind of like being captured. Is like, I'm not going to be in this prison for very long. You do know who I know. You do know who I work for. I work for Vader, and he's going to get me out. And it's a very interesting dynamic of this woman who has now been protected by Vader quite a bit for all of his goals throughout the Vader comic, that she is so cocky and confident in this. Now, while it took a couple of panels for me to get used to it, I really like the art in this issue. Instead of kind of the focus on all the features of them, it's more of a raw realism kind of feel look at them, and I really liked the look and feel of all the characters. This art was really well, and it actually, I think, helped the story with how the art looked. As a whole, it's put together really well. This comic sets everything up, builds on it through both art and the storytelling, ready for what is going to be, I don't think it's going to be a long arc, but should be a very interesting and good arc that we're going to get in the Star Wars. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy Star Wars 16? What do you hope to see in the upcoming comics? Let me know in the comments below. As always, like this video and subscribe to the channel. And I am Shawn Redman, aka the cheesily named Darth Shawn. May the Force be with you. Always.